Hey Void, how you doing? So, like I discovered relatively recently, I'm kind of a sucker for a good documentary. And CreatorVC is currently one of the ones I've watched the most, since they're the ones that put out the In Search of Darkness series. Which I not only watched and reviewed, but I then found out they were creating another one for the 90s, and backed that. And in backing that, I was able to get the Blu-ray collection of all three original In Search of Darknesses. Cool. And then I immediately rewatched those, so that was like 14 hours more of rewatching this documentary series. So, yeah. So, in doing so, I got on kind of their email list and was alerted that they had a physical release of their video game documentary on first-person shooters, and that they only had a few copies left, so if I wanted one, this is pretty much the only chance to get physical. So, of course I did. And it did show up, an FPS, first-person shooter, the definitive documentary. So, I sat down, gave it a go. This one just came out this year, actually, so it's a 2023 release, and it's about 4.5 hours on the history of first-person shooters, ranging from old, like, DOS-based Atari-style games to, well, now. And you got like John Romero as what? That was John Carmack. Several other of the big names that helped pioneer the genre. Tom Hall, Adrian Carmack, a whole bunch of it. You see pretty much how like a lot of studios got kind of formed, as well as their design process for how some of these games came about. And like they have John St. John talking about doing Duke Nukem. So there's a lot here. Now for me, then this one isn't as must-see as like the In Search of Darkness series, mostly probably just because of the subject matter. I'm a video gamer, sure, but first-person shooters aren't my forte. Mostly because the first-person viewpoint actually does make me sick to my stomach through motion sickness if I play them too long. Yeah. And this one also, I had to break up a little bit because I was getting that motion sickness from their game clips after a while. Took a lot longer to build up, but yeah, it was there. Which was a shame. But that aside, it is definitely still worth seeing if you're at all interested in the history. This also gives like the rise of like esports and things like that. Goes from like Doom, Wolfenstein, GoldenEye, Halo. It hits all the big ones, as well as several of the more obscure side projects, or smaller ones that were influential, like Trespasser, a very janky Jurassic Park one. So they do a good job in kind of covering a wide variety of subjects. So it's interesting, but for me, this one's only going to be like a 6 MacGuffin, just because it was fascinating, but I wasn't as fascinated or captivated as I was for like the 80s horror one. But that's mostly just a subject matter sort of thing. It still got the same style, and it felt very in line with like their In Search of Darkness series. So yeah, you can find this one on like their website for CreatorVC. I think you can like rent or download it straight from there. I don't think physical copies are easy to come by anymore because they only seem to do these limited runs. So, like, my In Search of Darkness collection, it's like a limited version of the trilogy. Like, they only release them for a short time, so quite happy to be picking them up, if anything else, just for scarcity. But I was happy to add it to the collection. So, I don't know how I'm going to return to rewatching this one. Like, In Search of Darkness, as soon as I got the physical one, I rewatched it right then and there. Well, this one, I did put it in as soon as I got it, but I don't imagine I'm going to be revisiting it too frequently. Well, that's all for this one, and we'll see you again soon, Void.